Have you ever wondered why some people can charge more for the exact same thing? Have you ever wondered why some agencies can charge this much for their digital marketing services and others charge that much, right? Why can that happen? Why is it? Is it their experience? Is it their background? Is it just their ability to have the guts to actually pull it off? In this video, we're going to be diving into the one thing that I see that agencies can do to charge more and be able to claim the value that they actually provide. Let's jump into it. What does it mean to you to be expensive? Now, expensive is kind of a funny word because it's different to everyone. What someone sees as being expensive, someone else sees as being cheap. And it's all about that perspective. Each of us has a threshold. Each of us has a number in our mind by which when it passes that number, it ceases to become cheap or reasonable and moves into being expensive. The question is, how does that actually get formed? How do we actually form our opinions as to what expensive is and what's cheap? So I want to share with you a quick idea around how you can actually frame your own thinking to understand why you're actually worth more than you might be charging right now. So the number one thing that you can understand about your business is how much value you're actually providing to a client. The more value that you provide to the client, the more they're willing to invest to achieve that value with you. Now, understanding the value that you provide might sound like a crazy idea. Like, okay, Mike, I get it. If someone sees me as being more valuable, they're willing to spend more money. I get it. But how do we actually figure out what that value is? And I tell you, it's not as crazy or hard as it might sound. So here's an example, and it starts with you understanding what the value of one client is to your customer. Let's take, for example, landscaping. Now, Home Guide says that on average, a new landscaping install project is going to range from $3,000 on the low end to almost $16,000 on the high end. That means that the average dollar sale for a landscaper is somewhere around $9,500. So the question that you have to ask yourself and something that you need to ask your client is, if you were to engage with that client, what is the likelihood that you would be able to bring on more customers? Because in the example of the landscaper, each one of them is worth on average $9,500. So could you bring on one new client per month, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20? Are you starting to see where I'm going with this here? That each one of those clients is worth real money to that business. And you as the marketer, as the web designer, as the person who's helping them create more customer activity is directly responsible for that increase in their business. And this is something where now we can see that the combination of your ability to generate customer activity and knowing the average dollar sale for a business is where we can start to pinpoint what engaging in those services is actually worth to that client. And guess what? For the right kind of client, your value is massive. I want you to understand that you deserve to get paid based off of the value that you provide and not the time it takes. Don't get stuck in trading time for money. Trade money for value. This is how you charge more. You simply find clients where you can provide maximum value and then charge accordingly.